exactly what I was thinking right now in terms of the shaking. But as you said, Winter, there are ways of dealing with it. So
Yep. I kind of expect them probably, because it's Na'Vi though, they're probably going to do the same thing and try to, you know, play
Do it better.
Yeah, do it better, maybe adjust General's hero.
Yeah.
Give him a better laner. Like the Prophet is something that I feel is really good against a team like Mineski, because they focus a lot on early game aggression. Prophet's going to help you win your lanes and counteract the aggression with the TP.
What did they...
Oh, they banned out the...
Yeah, so the Mirana.
They banned out the... They banned out, I think, the Night Stalker the last game, so they banned out Mirana this time because of the creep. The Chen couldn't really gank mid effectively because of the arrow. Arrow kills the creep instant. So I think that's the idea here.
Yeah, I was going to say, what do you think Na'Vi can learn from the way that Liquid played Mineski? Because they seemed to unlock them, didn't they?
Yeah, but Na'Vi can't really play the Liquid.
No, that's the problem, isn't it? They haven't got the same style.
They have to find another way to beat Mineski with their own system, you know. They can't really just like, oh, we're just going to adopt Liquid system and it's going to work for us.
I just wonder sometimes whether other regions, when they've got such a style of play in their region to get out of their qualifiers, obviously, that's why they play that way, if they can take one thing from another team that is able to... Do you know what I mean? It's like, if I can find just one key to how Liquid played, I can't play like them, but at least I can take one hero or one style of play or one build or just something out of it.
So we see the first phase, Earth Spirit.
Kind of expected. I expected it from Na'Vi. They really want to pick this hero. Very good roamer. Good team fight, and the difference is like they do run him on the position 5, so the Earth Spirit. I guess some people would argue that Na'Vi's 2 supports, they are both 4.5. Yesterday we have like 5 supports with LGD, but this time I think for Na'Vi it's like 4.5, like both kind of 4-ish. So both their supports are getting some farm. And Mineski is sticking to their guns with the Earthshaker against Na'Vi's possible Chen strat again. But they don't have the Mirana. I think that is the key thing here.
And they also have...
That's what they've identified, isn't it?
Yeah.
They also have the Clockwork available to Na'Vi, which I think are actually pretty good for both
Clockwork's good against both of these. They might actually choose to go for the Clockwork instead of the Chen. But the thing is, if they go for Clockwork right now, and they will still want the Chen, they won't get the Chen.
Yeah, I was going to say, that'll be second phase ban, won't it? Yep, so they're going to pick it now, just in case. Because I think if they leave the clock, they might actually get the clock.
Probably.
Probably. But it's tough. Chen is not as good versus their lineup. You already see massive amounts of AoE. We saw how it went last game, and then Clockwork, yeah, it might still be available in the second phase, but I think it matches up much, much better versus their 2 heroes.
A lot of this is about feel from the players, isn't it? If the Chen feels like, actually the Mirana was a right pain for me to deal with in that game, and didn't let me do what I needed to do, then that's what we need to ban.
Yeah.
It's not always obvious to us watching the game how that was uncomfortable, though.
Or he could have said to his team, this was a problem, but I just need to adjust certain things in the early game so I can actually deal with it better. So just give it to them again, and I can do it. But it's also like a gamble, you know, you're like the captain and you listen to the players say this, then you're like, do I actually not take the risk and just ban it so he gets a good game?
And then it comes back to us and we go, what an idiot, why did he let it through again?
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you need to have a good amount of trust on your teammates, you know, to win the game. And they do still ban out the Clockwork, Beastmaster and Clockwork.
Yeah.
So the Pugna is available for General this time. He played it the most during Star Ladder. Pugna is okay with their heroes because synergy. They're gonna try to push with Chen. Pugna goes really well with that. And the Nether Ward is good against the jumpers like Shaker.
You might get batted though.
Yeah.
That's a problem if you're a Pugna.
Then it's like if they pick the Pugna, they can't switch the lanes though, because it comes down to the point where General's hero's gonna come out first, then this hero gonna come last. So if they pick the Pugna, it loses that flexi thing, you know. Some teams when they pick Pugna, like Immortals, MP plays it, 4F plays it.
Yep.
Kyo plays it.
Kyo plays it.
So the Pugna becomes like, whatever, we just pick Pugna and see how things goes. But for Na'Vi, it's different. If we pick Pugna, General is going to play the Pugna.
For sure.
So that is actually, that could actually be a problem.
Them a little bit of an issue.
But they do ban out the Nyx though. Maybe they're still leaning towards the Pugna here, because they took out the Nyx here as well. They might still go for the same thing for Mineski. Here they kind of want to pick a hero, like a filler hero, and see how things goes. They have like Earthshaker, Jack hero, probably that dual support. They want to pick a flexi hero.
Puck maybe?
Yeah, Puck's good. Yeah, Puck's definitely good here. Usually they will like go for Mirana or Puck, either one of these two. Or sometimes they will go like a Ember Spirit. But I think Mirana or Puck. Mirana is not available, so Puck should be the
They're
next
also
option.
a multi-Nyx team.
Ooh.
Oh, they actually snatched. They are worried about the Puck now. They snatched up the Puck now. That's why they took so long. I think it's a good choice here because the Nyx is out, Clockwork's out,
Is that a Mushi Puck now?
and the enemy can't really pick a Puck.
Is that a Mushi Puck? now?
Mostly no,
'Cause he's the
mostly
one that plays it most out of the team.
no, mostly Nana plays it. Moon,
Okay.
Moon plays the hero. I mean, Mushi does. He can definitely play the hero, but I think for the team's dynamic and system, they should put Nana on the playmaking hero and Mushi more on the stable like AM carry farm hero, VS, Luna. That's what he's gonna be playing most likely. So they go for Weaver, like a much better laner this time. Good diffuser hero against the Pugna.
Still a tough Weaver game though.
Yeah, I mean most of the carries are gonna have a hard time against Shaker. Like, Shaker just kills anything.
Yeah, I think like Weaver and Puck in particular struggle a lot versus like
because
the-
you are
you're-
low HP.
Yeah.
And you die in the burst. So.
I think generally you want heroes with like a little bit more wiggle room with HP, like Necrophos, let's
But
say.
the thing is like the Weaver is a self-sustainable hero,
Mhm.
and I kind of like that for Navi. Navi needs a carry that will be okay on alone, because the supports are gonna just roam and whatever, not come back to his lane. Bye, Crystallize. See you in a minute. So he has to be able to hold his lane alone.
I mean, there's still other heroes. We saw Lone Druid earlier, for example.
I don't think they play Lone. Yeah, I mean Lone Druid could fill that criteria, but I don't think this team actually runs the hero. Yeah, but it actually could be a hero that maybe Navi could explore in the future. Fits their system. If the patch, doesn't alter too much of that in 2 weeks. So Pogna, I think for this team, Pogna is very likely Mushi might actually play the hero. I know all three of them play the hero, but sometimes they do run like aggressive try-in. Like if they sense like the enemy has really weak lanes, Mushi will go aggro try with a Pugna and they give Ice a 1v1 lane. Everyone else gets a 1v1 lane. This is the Ice hero. So they go for the Brewmaster, more team fight against the Chen. Good laner as well, like very strong in the lane. Very hard to deal with. Everything seems much more like solid right now for Mineski. Like as a whole, they have a very solid lineup. Good lanes, good team fight, good wave clear.
The late game sucked. That's about it.
Pugna doesn't suck late game though.
He's not amazing, but he's not
You don't-
awful.
He's kind of a
Depends on how
delayed
much farm he
game
gets, I
though, isn't
guess.
Yeah, I think if he's reasonably farmed, he
Yeah.
can be very strong late game.
True.
Pretty annoying in the middle of those team fights.
Yeah, he does like way too much damage, and if you look at their lineup around him, Brewmaster is a really good hero at protecting the Pugna. Like Pugna, you want to have all those front lines so that the enemy can't get close to you, and you are allowed to actually dish out a huge amount of damage in the fights. So assuming the Weaver is going to be Crystallized hero, they're probably going to have to pick an off laner, because then this hero is going to be last, as usual. And I mentioned Prophet, and Prophet can build Orchid against Brewmaster. Orchid can be really good against him
I think Prophet would struggle a lot though.
in the lane.
I don't think he's going to be able to push down that many towers. Like, I think it will work well for them.
But for the lane though, like it's good for the early game.
Yeah, but I think bigger picture though, it wouldn't work as well. I think like mid to late you struggle a lot with the NP. Like he can't actually do anything on his own. Like I think any of these heroes can stop his push, and then in a team fight, like what are you going to do in the team fight as this? I think they're already lacking in the team fight with the Chen.
So they go for the Magnus. Who's actually going to play the Magnus? General, like Dandy. I know Dandy plays the Magnus.
Dandy plays it.
So they're not
but
they're not gonna pick his hero last. But so you like this more?
I like it more because it's more late game. I think if you're Navi right now, you're worried about the middle late. Like Chen and Earthspear, they can only do so much. Even if you win the early game and then what? Like if you have an NP, it's like okay, you can take down towers, but how are you gonna actually break high ground versus massive amounts of AoE high ground still?
So you want to have like good scaling after you secure the early game.
Yeah, I think their early game's like already looking pretty good. They don't need two more all in on it. I think last game that MP would have been really, really good,
But not this game.
but not this game.
Yeah, I guess I kind of like that idea too. So they ban out the A. I mean, actually bans out the AM. So they are actually, so they think that the Weaver is off lane. That's why they ban the AM. And they think that their heroes can't really.
AM's decent versus Pug, right? It's okay.
It's okay. But on the flip side, if you actually get a snowball going on the Pugna, he can actually take all your towers and could be difficult for AM to farm later. I guess it depends on what they want as their last pick. Might be a hero that's bad against AM as well. So they ban out the Brood. They are still worried about that, even though I think that Ice is gonna play the Brewmaster this game. Navi doesn't really want any risk.
What other melee heroes are there? Alp? Can't think of that many.
So they just like went for like heavy team fight the last two. Void's quite good against Brewmaster. You can find him, Chrono, kill him first.
Their burst is not good though. Like, how do you actually kill
But
people?
they
in
have a
Chrono?
lot of lockdown. Like the Earth Spirit is pretty decent follow up. And if Weaver is fat with the Empower, he can do a lot of damage outside the Chronosphere.
Sounds tough.
So placing, where does
but-
the Weaver go?
But the lanes will be so Void's off lane.
Yeah, you
Yep.
would think, because General plays him.
I think
Weaver
Void's off
mid?
lane Magnus. I think Magnus. But
Magnus mid, Void off lane, Weaver carry.
yeah.
Not so sure, but I can see the idea with what they went for in the last two. Like Ben mentioned, they wanted to go for more team fight.
Mm.
Secure the early game, then go to the mid game with strong team fight.
I'm just not terribly convinced
this
Void
is-
is going to have a
this is
great
really-
game.
This is a really good pick against team fight, like heavy, long CD team fights. Because Tinker is a hero that you stall out the game a lot when they try to 5-man and push with their
Yeah,
ultimates.
so General's going to go on the Weaver here, by the way.
So it's off.
Oh.
Oh, okay. Then I like this more.
And Dendy on the Magnus.
Then I like this more. Off lane Weaver.
Mm.
It's gonna,
And
so
Crystallize is going to be Void.
Mushi's taking the puck now.
Yeah.
They might actually go aggro lane and leave the Broom. I'm not sure what they will do, but the Tinker last pick though is quite good for Mineski. So I'm gonna side them this time.
Okay, we're going to go with Mineski.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't believe in the Void. I don't think the synergy is really that great there. They have Empower, but that's about it.
Good team fight, though.
It's all right.
All right. Okay. So
You're playing against Pugna Brew though. That's also pretty
Yeah.
tough. And Shaker.
that's true.
all
So
these
you're
other
with
heroes.
Mineski as well?
I will this
I
game.
mean, we were wrong the last game, so.
Well, I didn't think
Who
that.
knows?
They
Yeah,
missed
could-
so many spells, dude. Ugh.
Maybe the curse of the panel is true. Let's find out as we head into game number 2 and head back to our commentary team of Cap and Blitz.
Now, normally, Blitz, I like to be able to jump to you with your prediction, kind of set the tone for what we're expecting to see after the draft, but I'm going to tell you right now, Blitz, I am all in on Mineski's lineup. I don't really care what your analysis is. Not feeling Navi's lineup whatsoever here in
Not
this game, too.
feeling
Not
Navi
feeling
lineup?
it, no.
Okay, I guess I'm a Navi all in.
Now the time to go the opposite?
Dude, I worked last game. I got my first prediction. I just like did the exact opposite of whatever the panel did. Maybe this is really how I make my bones in this business. I don't quite understand like the Weaver off lane with the Void and the Magnus mid. I mean, this all just seems a little bit convoluted to me.
Yeah. They need some sort of, like, all these perfect scenarios. The planets have to align for Navi to be able to make this draft work for them.
Well,
Meanwhile, Mineski threw a serious wrench in their plans with the Tinker.
yeah, there's a good news though. There's good
Yes.
news coming. It's that there are a lot of different heroes that Navi have that can play very mobile.
Okay.
And there's only like one real lockdown on the side of Mineski. And it's a very good lockdown. Like, don't get me wrong, it's Shaker, but is it going to be enough? Like, that's the different story.
Why haven't we seen more Brewmaster? I mean, we saw that OG, they were playing it with S4. Seemed to be pretty good there. Why don't we see more Brewmaster, Blitz? I think that hero's baller.
I think it's good, but I mean, you win some 5K pubs with it, Austin. You think it's amazing, but you need to relax. Like,
But Drunken Haze, Blitz!
yeah, I saw those games, man. They look real tough.
25 mana.
That part is
70%
good.
miss.
You really don't want to level clap over one. It's really annoying. You just want to like throw a beer at somebody's eyes,
Yep.
like chuck sand at them.
With the CS war against a carry as an offlaner.
Yeah,
Yes.
do it. Skill it. You know you want to. You don't care about Seneko. Seneko's not gonna do shit. Alright, he's holding it just in case like he's getting ganked by Chen right now. Oh, he actually goes for clap.
Yeah, maybe. Oh, he goes for clap. He
Yeah.
doesn't end up picking. Like the only other one is like sometimes you get the critical feels good on that first hit.
Yeah, I feel like you
Guaranteed
just get the
CS.
haze or
The passive.
oh, they lost a courier. What?
Yeah.
Huh?
Standard.
Where?
Rating courier down right next to the tier 1.
Okay.
Well, now this mid lane's going to be feeling real bad. Magnus versus Tinker. That's
He doesn't have
okay,
Salve.
but now it doesn't have a courier to be able to work off of.
Who killed it?
No salve, nothing.
Do you know who killed it?
Negative. It shows the scoreboard as blank.
Weird. Okay, fair. Well, it goes down. I mean, I just didn't see anybody near it, but I guess it doesn't matter. It's Jabs. Gonna
Oh
block
no!
it.
And
my
the first blood. An attempted rotation from the Chen Centaur does nothing to be able to stop Moon from being able to pick up this early kill. I feel like if we're looking at Navi's lineup, I really need them to win the laning phase so they can have a chance at being able to snowball in and everything. But this is already going pretty terribly.
Yeah.
Courier down, first blood. And I'm not convinced that they're going to be able to do a whole lot against the Brewmaster with 2 melee heroes.
Jabs even missed the fissure, right? He hooked him on the other side, but it didn't really matter. Like, Dendi, you need salve for this matchup. Like, this matchup especially. Like, if you don't have salve, it's pretty rough. And they're even going to get a ward for... Jabs already picks up a ward in case he wants to ward up that jungle area.
Rotation up the top lane. Maybe this is where they can find the win. Mushi
They need
going to
to
be
kill him.
chased down by the Centaur. He's so damn fast, but the Centaur is almost as fast. He's not going to be able to hide in the trees now with a bug on top of him.
Super dead.
Tries to go for the Trepify, maybe give him time for another blast last second, but does not manage to make it work. So Na'Vi do even up the score, 1-1, and it does look like that top lane should go pretty well for the Weaver.
Yeah, that top lane is going to be the saving grace. But at the same time, this bottom lane is really nice to the Brewmaster because Seneko can't do anything bottom. Like, I wasn't joking when I said you shouldn't care about what Seneko does.
Roger, slowed up by the Fissure. So much damage coming out from a Jakiro and Weaver. Nothing you can really do to stop it. Roll in onto mid lane. This is a big kill. They can actually get it, but the invis.
Okay, Dendi, you're out of mana.
Oh no.
Doesn't even get the opportunity to go for the gas.
He needed 7 more mana to be able to have that shockwave, and maybe, just maybe, he could have killed Moon.
And in mid lane,
They're
he's
going to
actually
try
gonna
it
get
for
stunned
it.
up.
Moon's going to be able to throw out a lot of spells, and Dendi is 1 hit away, has the healing salve though, and just enough distance away from Jabs to be able to keep the salve. Oh, okay, I spoke too soon.
No, it gets canceled.
Gets canceled, 200 HP.
Yeah.
That's what he's got.
Kick in mid though, unsuccessful. And there are no bottle charges, so the next rune coming up is going to be huge, and I'm sure the universe is going to conspire against Na'Vi and give... Alright, what would be like, Moon finds a regen rune up at top.
Yeah.
That'd be like the
Ideal
roughest-
scenario. Closest rune, and the most value. For an
not bad,
already
though.
low Roger, blocked out. Roger. Hey, they could even give this to the Tinker if they wanted to.
think
Moon,
they
come
should
take a
go.
kill.
No, he's
General's going to try and go on Ninja Boogie, but Moon's here, has a laser, so can't really go for the right clicks on Ninja Boogie to
I
be able
really
to finish
like
him
this,
off.
by the way. They protected the hell out of their Jakiro. They're like,
Yeah.
if General commits, he will die. And General trying to go on this Tinker who has to use...
Only level 2 Shikuchi, so it's going to be a decent cooldown to it. Moon thinks he can pop him. He's right. Damn.
He had to go 3-2-0
Maxed out
though.
laser, yeah.
Yeah. But kill's a kill. It's 286 gold. Weaver was like your lone bright spot right now, and Na'Vi just getting bodied around the
And
map.
that word got spotted immediately.
And this Brew is having like the time of his life at bottom.
So we said that Na'Vi needed to change things up.
They needed a better laning phase.
And they kind of did, but like, what was the idea behind what they changed?
I think they were hoping to pick these self-sufficient cores so
Okay.
that their supports could just move around the map and have a little bit more free space, but Mineski had the same idea.
They're just trying harder and harder to make this double 4 position work for them.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, Mineski does have certain heroes like that last big Tinker. He's now going to be caught by the
Should be a
ensnare.
very
Great
good
setup
kill.
by Na'Vi. They're going to be able to run down Moon underneath his tier 1 tower, finish him off with a skewer in Dendi. He's the recipient of that one, but Jabs already has the
Oh,
preemptive
Jabs.
enchant totem. Great play by Jabs being able to get the return kill. And already has arcane boots.
Yeah,
May not
he's
have
really
experience,
rich.
but he's got gold.
No, he's really, really rich right now, considering everything that's happened. But very good return kill for Na'Vi. They needed something like that. But 5 minutes in, a 2k gold lead on the side of Mineski.
The
Like-
Dead Walk.
Dude, this team is looking so scary.
An army of skeletons approaches.
Radiant are
That
scanning.
is, they're all going to get one shot.
One Pugnablast.
Be careful, Skelly friends.
So just going to take over some of those neutral camps. Mushi can't really do any farming. Does
That is
manage
so
to get a
many-
successful scan though.
It's like an episode of The Walking Dead, dude. There's like, oh, okay, they're just getting one shot. There's like 30 gold. A blast for 1 creep. It seems like a lot, but it's really not. It's like 6 creeps per. Got like 5 of them, 30 gold.
If they could have actually gotten a successful gank, they could have turned this into a fast push on that safe lane tower. The huge advantage that Chen is supposed to afford you, but doesn't seem to be working out here. The roll-in, oh, actually does manage to nail Mushi, but the Krepfai's out. Going to be able to dodge some of that damage. Ice Path also slowing down General, but it has another Shukuchi. Runs forward with so much minus armor onto Mushi. He's just going to get one shot there. General turns and bites up Ninja
more
Boogie
here.
with the extra help of the creeps. He has to pop the healing cell, but doesn't manage to keep it alive, as General does manage to get that one hit in. Without the heal, won't be able to survive underneath that tier 1 tower area. So General picks up 2 there, still managing to get himself out of dodge before the TP's in from the Pugna again.
Yeah, and there's a stun on mid, but
No Tinker to follow that one up.
yeah. And I'm not sure if they get that kill anyways. I guess he has 3 levels in laser. It's like 240. No, it's not nearly enough. Even if there wasn't reduction, he wouldn't get the kill. They would need like 2 right clicks.
We got to start ganking this Tinker soon, right? He's working towards that Boots of Travel. I feel like, you know, you can let an anti-mage get a Battle Fury sometimes, right? As long as you gank him a bunch and make sure that he doesn't really get that Manta at the next progression. But Tinker, I feel like you have to stop that first item.
Yeah, once he gets boots to travel, his farming speed just kind of gets out of control. The good news for Na'Vi is like they have pretty good catch. They have this Magnus who will eventually get a Blink Dagger. It looks like Dendi going to go for something we used to see Weehawk go for a lot, the Echo Saber. And he's also stacking for himself like crazy. Like this Ancient Camp is stacked up. So this Echo Saber build's going to help out a lot. And when he empowers, like this Void is going to farm quite quickly. And he's going to shove in the lane, grab this Arcane Rune, very useful rune for Magnus.
It will give him a lot more solo kill power, right?
Yeah.
He'll be able to turn more into a carry.
Dendi's done a really good job of recovering, by the way.
He's not going to be able to really take advantage of the Chronosphere too much, but we'll see how Na'Vi end up working around it. Fisher's stun. Going to be forced into using that time lapse. Weaver will still walk it off, though.
He has 4
Plenty of
raindrops.
Magic Stick, yeah. Magic Stick charges and
It's really hard
raindrops.
for him to die. That's what we talked about, right? They don't have a lot of lockdown.
Yep.
So this game might just be one of those like really long ones where it's going to come down to like, can Tinker get like Hex or Dagon 5 and just like repeat burst? I love games like that. I think late game Tinker, I know people hate it, but I think it's so fun to watch.
Yeah, I agree. It's like Invoker in a way that it's high amount of micro and decision making that goes on.
Yeah. It looks really boring to every single person playing, but there is something unique about just like one like gnome zapping you 50 times in one fight.
Being able to get the bouncing laser.
Oh, mid.
General
jabs.
is going for a poke here at Jabs.
Yeah, not going to complete. Thinks maybe there's a Tinker nearby, although they have a really nice ward that they were able to place up here. I'm not sure when they were able to get that ward up there, but they correctly ascertained that Moon is going to be farming in that area. And Moon looks like he really wants
Trying to
go
set up
for
this
it.
one, managed to get the double stun. That is going to be 1 kill instantly. See if they can catch Ninja Boogie. Crystallize can throw out the Chronosphere if he
doesn't
wants to
want to.
ensure it, but he'd rather be able to get the kill without it. And as long as they get the vision, they should be able to lock him down with Chen's creeps.
Dude, Chen's got Medallion already.
Damn. Medallion. This is going to turn into pretty fast pushes as well. That's pretty rough.
I like this a lot more than the whole Aghanims thing.
Yeah.
It allows him to Roshan early on too, which is something I think they do want to go for. And he needs to be a playmaker. He can't afford to just farm like he did in the last game. As Dendi gets right-click down a little bit here at bottom, and they really want to sandwich in on him, but who's the response follow-up is the Pugna is making his way down. Dendi just going to TP out clean for this.
A Brewmaster actually going to be going for a Hand of Midas instead of the Blink Dagger. Why do you think that is? Why do you think Ice isn't wanting to go and contest some of these pushes from Na'Vi with an early teamfight item? Like the Blink Dagger gives you that initiation that allows the ultimate to be profitable.
Sure, but you also know that you have a Tinker who's going to go for Boots of Travel, and he'll hold the base by himself with 4 levels of March, which he has, by the way, Cap.
Okay.
And on top of that, are you really going to be looking for so many fights when you do have a Tinker? the one thing about Tinker is he's such a unique playstyle hero. As he's probably going to go down
no,
here
Tinker.
mid.
Nice double Fisher to buy him a little bit of time, but
That's
he's
a
still going
lot
to be
of
run down. It
marches.
looks like they have to turn around, get the final bit of damage. It looks like Sineko's damage over time is
the
doing a
heal.
lot of work. He already killed the Tinker. Maybe they can kill Jabs as well. Outside of the tower range, General managed to heal himself up just a tad and goes back in for that extra kill. Great initiation there from the Earth Spirit.
And very nice heal from Roger.
Radiant's bottom
Any sort of follow-up comes, they both die, but instead, they even managed to pick up the Earthshaker kill, which they probably weren't anticipating. But what I was saying is that normally when you have Tinkers on your team, like it forces a certain kind of playstyle. Like certain heroes force you to play a certain way of Dota. And Tinker is one of those where you're going to be a little bit more late game oriented. And so I think Ice 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 recognizes that and wants the game to go a little bit longer. As we see very nice initiation from the Earth Spirit. And the March, it almost ticked both of them
Yeah,
down.
it was so close. I like the fact that they both ran out and just trusted that the damage over time from Earth Spirit's ultimate would finish off the Tinker. And Jabs, I mean, he was closing in on that Blink Dagger too. They had managed to make that turnaround double kill happen in mid. He would have Blink Dagger right now, and we said, we really need that lockdown from our Earthshaker. We need to be able to have that against this. I mean, so much mobility between the Void, the Weaver, even the Magnus has that skewer.
Emperor right now, smoked up, kind of have to.
So both teams are kind of playing these slower builds on their heroes, between the Magnus going for the Echo Saber for this Midas build-up from the Brewmaster. Both teams kind of seem in it for the long haul. Jabs almost gets caught there by General. Instead, it's going to be gone on by Sineko. Managed to get the Fisher out, but doesn't have an Echo Slam to follow anything up. Nice Ice Ice quick to give up that team fight. Doesn't want to force it onto Na'Vi. Again, playing for that longer game, hoping that Tinker can now hold against the mid push that I'm sure is coming from Na'Vi.
And he's got to be set up here right now. It might be too difficult otherwise. And without Ice 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 looking to rotate, it's probably going to be a dead tower. Although he is here.
Spam, spam, spam. Sineko. Just slide over there.
This is really smart from Sineko. He's trying to knock
catch
them
that
around.
back line, make sure they don't manage to get the huge amount of March of the Machines up. So they've already killed 2 of them, and looks like the Brewmaster might be able to catch something. Oh, he actually throws out the RP just to save Roger's life, and it barely works. No, it doesn't. They managed to get the Storm. Panda, that last finishing blow. It did manage to save the tower for the time being. As Ice 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 comes back, they're actually going to try and fight this one underneath the Chronosphere, underneath the March of the Machines as well. So Crystallight's taking a lot of damage in return, but there's no news coming in as they manage to die the Tier 1 at the same time with General and Sineko catching the Tinker. This is turning very bad for Mineski very quickly.
Yeah, very good start for them early on, but
Dire's middle
General,
tower is under
coming to
attack.
almost every single one of these engagements, he's just done such a good job of sowing a lot of discord in their team fight. Like, they can't lock down this Weaver, and with his time lapse, he doesn't feel like he can die. So
You
he
could see
pretty
him
much
just-
YOLO behind.
Yeah, he's playing fearlessly in that back line. 3-shot Mushi's Pugna thanks to the double damage that he picked up.
Yeah. Look how unafraid he is, because he realizes they have 1 stone, guys. Like, I can't die. I'm gonna play very aggressively for this.
So again, Mineski can't afford any team fights until they have that Blink Dagger from Jabs. And he's sitting at 1900 gold, so it's obvious that Mineski are trying to prioritize it, but wasn't quick enough to be able to win that engagement in mid.
Oh, if you saw, by the way,
Yeah, the kick.
Sineko, when he gets him with that boulder right as he's about to TP, and you're gonna see Dendi very fired up right now.
They should be. Na'Vi need this win to be able to tie up the series and push this to a game 3. Na'Vi do not want another blowout in the group stage.
And this is looking little by little more successful, but again, you're playing a Tinker game. You need to pick him off several times just to get ahead as the spam begins, Crystallize. Notice that he is going for that Shadow Blade, understands that he needs to be able to get more catch items
Dire's middle
to
tower
be
is
able to
under
solo
attack.
kill that Tinker, because you don't want to commit a lot of heroes for it. And at the same time, General is so farmed. He's got a Diffusal Blade. He deals so much damage. Probably the most dangerous hero in the game right now from either side.
Yeah, by far. Anybody runs into, especially Mushi's Pugna. Ooh, with the Empower.
Dire's middle tower
He might be able to find this kill. Chasing down Mushi. Throws out the bugs. Doesn't go for the Diffusal Blade slow. He needs that for it to decrepify, so just figures he's not close enough. Moon right on top of him. Does have the laser, immediately time lapses off that one, in a position to be able to continue to go onto Moon. Moon tries to protect himself. There's Decrepify actually coming out from the Pugna into the Shrine, healing himself up, doing a loop-de-loop, trying to stay ahead of Seneko as best as possible. And all of Mineski are here to be able to chase away these heroes. So Seneko goes ahead, tries to kick back jabs. He's going to be caught by the Echo Slam, though, unable to get a roll away in time. Ninja Boogie snatches him with the Ice Path.
Yeah, and very nice play. Going for that Shrine, understanding this is the only way out. Still a lot of damage coming up from General.
Dude, what is Roger's obsession with skeletons?
They
He
help
just
push up
keeps
the
on
lanes.
picking up these Dark Troll summoners.
Dude, you gotta work with what you got.
Yeah. I mean, they're really good for pushing if you ever get the free time to hit a tower with the skeletons.
Yeah, plus he has the Midas right now. It's very strong.
Yeah. So Blink Dagger, finally here for the Tinker. This is a problem for Na'Vi, right? They don't have the clearest instant initiation, right? It's the closest one is Blink RP. There's Time Lock Forward and Chronosphere. But all these kind of jumps, if Mineski just play it well enough, if Moon is able to just play faster than Na'Vi, he could stay ahead of all of these initiations. Yes.
Yes.
I agree with you. You're the best, Cap. That's what you're supposed to say right now. Please? You're just giving me the silent treatment right now?
I'm trying to think, man. I got stuff that I gotta think about.
Okay,
So just
okay.
boosting your ego.
Well, I mean, what are you thinking about, Will?
Me?
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out how Mineski is gonna win this game right now. Because the game is still probably okay.
I mean, isn't it just naturally just letting the game progress and not getting caught in these team fights?
It's easier said than done, though.
Okay.
Like Seneko, God, he's got to be so annoying to play with, or against, I should say. Like he is, every time like somebody's TPing out, he just like kicks a boulder at you, and you're just like, damn it, I'm dead. And that part is really frustrating. And we talked about the early medallion pickup leading to this.
Mm-hmm. Roshan, a freebie for Na'Vi, it seems, between the bugs and the medallion. They'll do it really quickly, too.
The skeleton
Power.
army. Here's where they come
Skeleton
in handy.
army. This.
Okay, they got one shot. But they'll be remembered.
But there's more.
With more, their blood will make room for new blood.
The skeletons of the old skeletons.
That's sick. But this is how you win if you're Na'Vi. You get this really, really Aegis.
Whoa! The jump in from Seneko going to be stopped by the Fissure, though. Ice will not have time to pop that ultimate. Got silence up. Maybe he can still get the time to Chronosphere. Oh no, with the back reply over the top. Ice. There's no rebuttal, it looks like, from Mineski. Just couldn't get off that ultimate. And now all their teamfight power is gone. Jabs comes in, actually trying to fight this one out. Maybe they can pop General. No, they just don't have the stuns available. Already used the Echo Slam. RP gets laid out. Managed to find Moon. Moon unable to finish off Dindy. Now has to run himself away with Diffuse Blade. Decrepify, TP out. They don't have the bash. They don't have anything to be able to throw down to stop that TP away. Jump forward, trying to catch this extra heroes. Crystallize does get a bash here.
What a
It's
bash.
going to be on Jabs with another Decrepify. And now with the Drain, healing up. Jabs trying to keep him alive as long as possible, but it's all in vain. These supports are dead. Give up on the Mushi. It's time for you to TP away. They're buying you space to get out.
And a godlike from General as he has no fear whatsoever.
Oh, Dendy
Has
just
that
ran
Aegis.
into
Dendy,
Moon.
though.
Look out! Got him. Okay.
Oh no. I think he was going for the big plays and the reverse happened.
What plays were those?
I am not sure.
Because he
They
did
were
not
trying
have
to-
RP. I think he just wanted to pick up the bounty rune.
Really?
I think he just wanted to fill up his bottle.
That'd be like the greediest thing ever.
Yeah, and that's why he died for it.
That was a really significant kill. Look how far ahead this Tinker is now. Like,
Yeah,
you
he
can't-
almost has Axe halfway through.
You can't afford to give up kills like this. And that would have been a pretty good fight. Of course it was. General just got his Beyond Godlike spree. Like everything's okay as the creeps are going to be okay up at top. But instead,
Because all three of these item timings are so important, right?
Yes.
The blink allows him to
Seneko.
start dodging fights. Seneko's so close. But at the same time, look at bottom lane. We have two-man smoke up. Jabs and Mushi. Echo Slam. 2 follow-up stuns, plus a life drain. It's a lot of burst damage to throw down on any hero. And Crystallize is going to be particularly susceptible to that. Decrepify, and boom! All that magic damage immediately blows up. Great pickoff for Mineski, and might give them the opportunity to take this tier 2. Looks like I saw them ping it. So they're actually going to try and keep on forcing this, and why not? Brewmaster does still have his ultimate. Doesn't have the Blink Dagger to go with it, even if he does have the gold, but it's still going to be Na'Vi a little bit timid at fighting without their Chronosphere.
Yeah, and that Brew in that last engagement, oh, he wanted to get his ultimate off so badly. Multiple times where he felt like he could have done it, but Seneko, who's been a beast all game, honestly,
Yeah.
every single time with the kicks, the silences, was able to lock him down in place. But Mineski, they're going to hard commit for this tower, even with the Aegis. Here comes
Coming
General,
in
though.
from behind. General's looking for a good opportunity.
They
Throw
want
some
this fight.
bugs on some people.
Na'Vi really don't want to just give up this tower. Everyone's down here, but it is going to go down to Ninja Boogie. As General going to chase forward, he wants to see what he can get.
Oh, Jabs is ready for the turnaround. They see General.
They're trying to bait out, but
Can
he
they
does
get
have
the
the
burst
Aegis.
damage? Fisher leading off. Follow up, Enchant Totem with the Ice Pack. Easy. There goes the Aegis. Mineski just need to get out of here? Or no? Are
I
they
think
going
they
to fight
want to
this?
fight, but they have no way to kill
Okay,
him twice.
they got to be careful with this one because Crystallize is coming in with a fresh Shadow Blade. A really good Chronosphere could destroy this engagement. But look the way the Mineski's positioning themselves. Ice, Ice, Ice here in the trees. A lot of these other heroes are not showing themselves.
he's
Make
gonna
sure they
pre-prep
don't
it.
get caught off. Brewmaster is now going to be able to throw on and start going for Crystallize after the time walk is used. So most of this damage is going to last. Even getting tornadoed up. They're going to have an Ice Path
They
to follow this
still
one
have
up. Ninja
Chrono.
Boogie's trying to get it up. Ice Path not quite up. They're not going to be able to do it. So Crystallize jumps back a little bit farther, but they are going to be able to get Seneko over to Ninja Boogie. General managed to get one of those supports, but now he's going to be stunned up by the Fisher. Here comes the RP, but it's too late. Dendi not able to save his big time carry, but maybe he can still win the engagement. Mushi, life draining, stuck away.
Oh,
but the
Crystallize
Ensnare's
goes
going to be
down.
able to stop him. Gets off the crab fight, running himself away. Mineski are beginning to completely outplay Na'Vi. Now going to be able to get Roger as well. 4 for 1.
Oh my. That sequence of events was so well done by Mineski. Ice 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 pre-preps his ult. He doesn't even go for the clap. He's like, guys, I gotta get it off this time. Doesn't have a blink dagger, so he's gotta do things the old-fashioned way. Pops out, 3 of him, starts controlling up everyone. At the meanwhile, his backline is holding this entire time. They form this tight-knit group around Crystallize. They understand he has a Shadow Blade, but without it up, Mineski not afraid of that Chrono opportunity whatsoever. The RP just a little bit too reactionary. Not Dendi's fault at all, just really well done by Mineski. This was so well played by them. They held that backline so well. They understood, like, guys, we're really strong right now. They don't have the Aegis. Look at Mushi. He just runs in. Moon not afraid at all. Gonna get the laser off at the last second, too. And they just don't really have a way to fight because of this March.
Yeah.
General gets a pick off, but instantly dies. The RP follows up, but because of the fissure, he doesn't really have the opportunity to drag him to anybody. And we see Crystallize really wants to get that RP off, dies in the stead, and here just comes the outplay.
Well, the good thing for Na'Vi is that as we come out of this replay, we did manage to get a pick off. The Void killed
Yeah, the Chrono
Mushi,
for it.
so did finally use that Chronosphere. Man, if that was just like the timing, you know, if
Half a
Dendi just
second.
comes in, gets the RP a little bit sooner, saves their big damage deal. Oh, they're gonna catch General again with the same ward. This time Echo Slams up, so they've got even longer duration hold on General, and they've got the burst damage to be able to back it up with the Tinker every single time.
Yeah, we kind of questioned how he would die, but I guess that's one way to do it, as now they're starting to get really strong. And they're going to commit the Echo for him every single time. He's got to be a bit more careful. Definitely needs a BKB at this point, and that is going to be the follow-up item.
Holy cow. No Blink Dagger ever required for the Brewmaster, apparently going straight for the Radiance.
Yeah, he wants to be as annoying as possible. The double evasion, of course, from the Radiance Burn and the Drunken Brawler on top of the Drunken Haze. He wants to be this frontline figure for Mineski, which they do desperately need if you look at their lineup. Like, they need somebody to just run in, tank some spells. If you burst everything onto this this hero, like, they don't have that much magic burst. Like, a lot of it comes from that physical damage. And this mid tower is going to be a landmark that they absolutely need to be able to defend, but Na'Vi going to have to give up on it. The Pugnablast a little bit too much. Items are flying in. Shadow Blade completed for that Magnus, as well as the Radiance for the Brewmaster, but even with the Shadow Blade, like, they have 2 Shadow Blades right now. Is there enough control follow-up? They need a better RP, though, than they have been getting so far, but it's kind of like they stack up onto each other, if that makes sense. Like, you have that RP, but you also have this Chrono, so they don't synergize, like, perfectly well as Crystallize hunting. Even without the Chrono, maybe if he gets a bash.
I think the biggest one of the biggest synergies they have is that they can get the bugs and then get the double disables onto these heroes. And somehow General also needs to be in a position where he can hit outside of the Chronosphere. They're trying to get Tinker.
Really
they
far
do manage to get on top of him. Kick does manage to land as well. They're going to be able to throw the RP down on him as well. They are not messing around and making sure they get this kill and get it fast before the rest of Mineski can show themselves. They're probably pretty scared of Jabs. They're going to try and catch the Brewmaster here, but unfortunately, Crystallize came forward and didn't manage to get off the Chronosphere ahead of that ultimate. Seneko just suiciding in, hoping to be able to draw the Pandas away from Crystallize, who does jump away ahead of the Ice Path as well as Jabs, but they're going to be able to get another Tornado this time. Bring him down a little bit early before the time walk was back up. He gets away before any stuns are thrown out from Mineski. A little bit timid about taking this fight. Now they're going to turn around, get the Chronosphere on Ice, who was more than willing to take this engagement, but his team was not able to follow it up. Jenna was disrupting the backline this whole entire time, being able to get the bugs out, probably stop the Earthshaker from being able to get his blink in the first place. Ninja Boogie didn't actually land that Ice Path, but there's Gratify! Mushi again saving his allies time and time. 20-16, Mineski do lose this engagement.
Yes. And
But it could have been a whole lot worse.
They had to throw everything and the kitchen sink just to kill Moon as he got that laser off, the Ags lasers, so they're like, guys, we can't let this guy get away. Blow everything. Throw everything at him. Very important kill for them as he leads the net worth chart quite easily. And on top of that, they were able to grab Ice, who was doing some tricky stuff with his Brewlings, but look at that laser, the 111, and so they just like use everything. Na'Vi complying. They can't let that kill get away.
Ice seemed so sure they wanted to take that fight. With the Tornado, I thought we're going to get an Ice Path, we're going to get a Fissure, but it seems like our Jakiro and our Earthshaker just couldn't follow up on that. We say Earthshaker wasn't even disrupted by General. He was playing the hard right-hand side during that time by the river, by the rune spawn. So it seemed like a little bit of, in my opinion, miscommunication in Mineski and what they wanted to accomplish with that fight.
Yeah, it looked like half of them wanted to take that fight, half of them didn't. Like Jabs wasn't in the best position to follow up. But probably was a better idea anyways, because as soon as you lose your Tinker, you can't really put out enough damage to burst anyone anyways. So probably a better idea just to run away from the get-go. And Ice, even though he has all this evasion, he's got to respect that he can die quite easily. As they're going to poke their heads into Roshan, no way that they go for it themselves. Absolutely no chance.
They just don't have good enough physical damage for it.
Yeah, zero chance that they can get away with that one.
No minus armor on their team. And a lot of big team fight spells for Na'Vi. That would be particularly good against an enemy team stuffed up in a Roshan pit.
Yeah. And Moon has a 225 health talent. Instead of going for the spell amp, opting to build a little bit more tanky. Probably going to go for a Shivas at some point then. There is a point where you have these heroes like Storm and Tinker where you, in the past, like you just kill them once, or like you get on top of them, stun them once, and they die, right? But once you start picking up more items like the Shivas and stuff, it's not that easy. Like it becomes quite complicated to kill them even when they're disabled.
Yeah, you survive long enough through that one stun, and you get off the bouncing laser, and then boom, all the damage just disappears from Na'Vi, even if they do stun you again. So I could definitely see the turnaround potential of just having a little bit of extra HP on Tinker would be more value here.
Yeah, his laser does a lot right now, so do the missiles. Like everything upgraded quite a bit now.
But that is the beauty of Navi's lineup, is the storyline has turned against Na'Vi since the early game where they were doing so well. Mineski winning that one fight in bottom lane, huge windfall for them. Storyline has turned against Na'Vi, but they still have a way to win this game at any state because they have so many big team fight spells.
Oh, of course. And they're still fine right now. Like they're leading by a little bit of gold on the fact that their Chen has the second highest net worth on their team. Like, I don't even know how that happened.
So even if they can't like close out this game maybe in the timing that they really wanted to, maybe stopping the Aghanim Scepter from the Tinker, being able to go into a high ground situation pretty early.
Oh, this is
Still
awkward.
plenty of backup plans. Silence.
He silenced up.
Onto the Brewmaster, waiting for the
There's
Earthshaker to
Chrono.
be able to stop some of that, but they managed to get the stun. Oh no, he got the Brewmaster ultimate off before the Chronosphere. They're just going to have to kill Jabs in the back line. That's still a pretty big kill with this Critical again coming out from Mushi being able to save, and Crystallize has to turn. Look for another target because he couldn't get his original target.
Oh, the
Roger
Tinker's
gets
just-
the heal up. Tinker's trying to get a lot of damage in for these Rockets. They just can't get on top of it. Jabs finally comes back in. Hits the big Echo Slam. Almost finishes off. Crystallizes as well, but gets blocked out by his own Fissure. So he's going to manage to get the time walk away. Still, Chen, well, he's surrounded by all of Mineski members, so there's no way he's getting out of here. Na'Vi could not put together the execution to be able to catch Mineski in the act.
That would have been so huge if they could have gotten Ice a split second faster. That's all it took. A quarter of a second, that's all you needed. And instead they find the Earthshaker who doesn't even go down. Mushi has been so clutch with those Decrepifies. You absolutely cannot give him more credit than he has.
Blink Dagger and Ags. Or excuse me, Blink Dagger and Ether Lens.
Yeah, and that mech,
Doing work for Mushi.
if he doesn't save the Earthshaker, they don't have enough control to kill anybody.
Yeah.
Like him surviving there then leads to the Faceless Void dying. That's how close Dota games are. If they get the Brewmaster before the split, there's so many different moments that could have swung this game Na'Vi, though, not quite out of it yet.
Oh, missing out on the skewer on Ice. That would have been a big pickup. Ice will complement him with the taunt. And Mineski got a bit of chip damage onto that tier 3, but don't want to risk it. Don't want to stick around, even with the Chronosphere on cooldown still. Mineski are more than happy to just back up and take map control.
Yeah, they
Look
should
at
just
that.
reset right now. Okay,
Jumping forward. Oh.
dude. Heat. No words. Because look at the sequence of events as a result. He can't even kill the Shaker. The Shaker comes in, echoes, kills Seneko. It gives him enough lockdown where he has to jump himself into the Tinker. In the backline too, Dendy's forced out. Roger's going to die as a result of this too. Like, it's such a chain effect. But they're going to try to get back into this game, go for this Roshan.
Straight into the
Mineski,
pit.
they want to take this fight.
Ninja Boogie slowing him down with a macro pyre. Ice just gonna roll up here. He's actually gonna pop his ultimate early, see if he can get in there with the Brewlings, but Age is already picked up by Crystallize. So instead he's gonna have to go
Roger's
for a
getting
hero that
really
really
low.
can't do anything about it. Roger's just gonna be run down, completely immobile in that regard. Oh, with the RP! They managed to grab Moon. This is a big pickup if Na'Vi can actually finish him up on top of this. Look, here comes the Decrepify, hoping to be able to get the rearm, blink out, but he's kind of stuck, skewered down. TP out, don't let him
Oh,
get
he's
away.
not
They
gone.
managed to get him, just barely. Na'Vi are all still pretty low though. Mineski, here comes the Chronosphere, managed to catch him. Unfortunately, General stuck outside of it, and there goes another Decrepify once again from Mushi. Crystallize instead turns and tries to deal with Mushi, but his BKB is wearing out, and with the Tinker now back into play, he's looking to be able to chase down General. Time lapse, back over to Mushi, hoping to be able to catch him with the Ice Path, not able to do so, so Shukuching away, but they've got the vision, they've got the damage from Mushi, and General will end up falling. Was that worth it for Mineski?
Still think it's kind of worth it for Na'Vi. I don't know if that's worth it for Mineski.
I mean,
think
that
the
buyback
was
pretty much
okay.
only got them the kill on
Yeah.
General.
The buyback gets them the kill on General, but the Aegis is still intact. Crystallize has it, walks away with it. Maybe if they lose it, then it's a little bit more rough. They're going to get some Chen creeps here. No, not even going to get that Dragon, but they might go for the high ground assault on the back of this. They know that RP is down. Jabs is going to be up quite soon. He's going to TP in, and I think this is going to be their high ground attempt. They got an Arcane Rune on their Pugna. Probably not a better attempt than this. Ice doesn't have that split quite yet.
One thing is, Moon's got to play super careful. They can afford Mushi to be on the front lines,
Yes.
doing damage to that tier 3 constantly. He's going to get skewered back and blown up almost immediately. Great Ice Path, though. Locking down 3 with a macro fire over the top. Mushi's actually escaping. Decrepify, turn around, suck, try and deal with the Urn Charge, and he's going to be good.
And the Fissure, it's going to save him, but Na'Vi holds their high ground. That's the even more important part about this, is they didn't have to force any unnecessary buybacks.
Yep.
Just the fort was used, and as a result, they almost even kill the Pugna. Game gets reset a little bit here, and right now the man to watch is Tinker. Like, if he goes down at any point, game just sort of ends. And that's the rough part about playing these Tinker-based lineups is you have to play so solely focused on this hero.
Yep.
Like, this is your true one position. He takes up so much of the room. He's going to push out all the lanes. He's even going to grab the jungle whenever it's available. And if you put this much into one hero, he has to deliver for you.
Is that why Ice has gone for such a carry-style build for this Brewmaster? The Midas, Radiance, straight into the Assault Cuirass. No initiation, just raw damage and disruptive influence.
Yeah, I think he just has to get in there, be as tanky as possible, force them to use as many spells as they can on him. And I think he has the right idea. Probably does want to get a Blink Dagger at some point. Like, I felt like he would have gotten it after the Radiance at least, but opting to just finish the AC for his team. Just being a really annoying, kind of core-ish Brewmaster. Because he realizes, like, it's a Pugna. Like, his other core is a Pugna who has Guardian Greaves and a Blink Dagger. Like, he's not going to really carry. And so it's going to come down to this Brewmaster being a little bit more tanky, a little bit more physical.
But the nature of his hero, he will never have the same influence that General has managed to have. Look at General. He's trying to get that instant damage on a Tinker by Shukuching over the creep that he's TPing onto. But Tinker does wisely cancel that TP.
Yeah.
Try it again here. No?
Nope.
No.
They're trying to set traps, but for the most part, I think Moon is playing really carefully because he doesn't have that buyback. As I say
this
that,
time he completes it. Oh, there are spirits
Seneko is
around
looking.
too.
They know where it's
The
coming
march
from.
is
though.
there. Run forward by Seneko.
does
See
he
if he
get
can
the
get the kick. He got it! Moon! He's going to be stuck in the trees. Now they managed to get the bugs onto him. Moon is going to be silenced up. Goes for the TP up. Do they have it?
Oh,
He's
he gets
done.
it
They
again.
don't have the damage to be able to get it. He's got it. Oh, no.
That was
Moon, what have you done?
the last possible second that Seneko could have gotten that off. We talked about how disruptive he's been all game. He comes in clutch again. This is a 5-position Earth Spirit who's had so much impact.
Oh,
I thought he was going to play
no.
safe.
But
yeah,
he doesn't.
canceled that TP 2 different times. And finally, he's like, all right, I'm going to go on.
Yeah, Na'Vi rewarded with their patience.
Wow. So 70 seconds on the clock for Mineski's Tinker. Na'Vi, it's just a race to see how much damage
They've
they
got
can do to
Aegis.
the base at
I
this
think
time.
they just go for it.
Yeah, I mean, they take one lane of Rax for sure, right?
Yeah, they got Aegis right now. They've got BKBs up. All their spells are available right now, aside from Magnetize. Best possible scenario right now for Na'Vi.
Mineski do have a lot of high ground afforded to them between the combination of Pugna Blast as well as Earthshaker Fissure blocks. And then there's always the Macro Pyre and Brewmaster initiation
You
for
gotta
the
be
team
careful
fight.
though. Dendy, he's looking for something. He's invised up right now.
Wants to be able to get that easy skewer back.
Any sort of numbers advantage. They got the Chrono.
Chronosphere onto Ice. See if they can finish him off. Don't let him get off that ultimate, but they're just not doing the damage fast enough. They have to get it bashed out. He has to get off the ultimate, and the RP put on Namushi gets a defensive 4-step away. Now Decrepify, he's being able to get out of this one.
This is not the
Brewmaster
fight
just
Na'Vi
trying to
wants to take.
stall up this fight as best as possible. Na'Vi on the retreat. Only 15 seconds till the Tinker is here. The Brewmaster is trying to finish off Rogers, forced to use his ultimate. He just wants to be able to control these heroes, get any sort of tornadoes and stuns until the Tinker is back online. In fact, they almost finished off Crystallized without him. They managed to hold. Mineski did have the high ground defense as Na'Vi blunder their initiation. It completely screws that lane of Rax that we were hoping to see taken.
It was just too far deep. Nobody could follow up Crystallize. And when he was that far away, if the RP connects on Ice, maybe that's a kill for them. But, oh, they dove in so far for that, wasted Aegis. And they had to work so hard for that Tinker kill. It ultimately leads to nothing. Very well done by Mineski in that fight. That Shadow Amulet, too,
Yes.
on the Mushi.
That was a big save
If you didn't
leading
quite
into the
catch that.
Crepify.
Just perfect team fight.
Who was that? Who was that? Jabs?
Yeah, Jabs.
Disassembling his Shadow Blade for the Shadow Amulet?
I think he didn't have it in the first place.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I hope they get to show that again. That was such a cool fight. I think if Dendy was like a pixel closer, that's how close these fights have been so far. Like if Ice goes down, maybe they just go for it.
Yeah.
As is now everyone
Now they've
trying to
got
farm
a
out.
gem. I mean, they need vision control real badly for Moon.
Yeah. A lot of BKBs on the side of Na'Vi, but
And if they could get an MKB for Weaver, is that his next item with 4,000 gold?
I think MKB is okay. Maybe if he goes for a Bloodthorn as well.
Okay.
I think Bloodthorn has a ton of utility in
Yeah,
this
that
game.
would be pretty good.
Yeah. And notice, by the way, the Tinker has decided to go for...
Seneko? No, he's gonna be. No, he's not gonna be stopped. Jabs did not know where he rolled to, so missed out on the Fissure.
Yeah. But the Tinker is going to go for the Shiva's Guard, and that's going to make him quite tanky. Although he does still die really fast.
I know Mushi was thinking about the Shivas as well, but
It's under attack.
since Tinker's got to be gone in for it.
Yeah, and right now they're going to run into the Ancient Black Dragons. Trying to take those down. Ice, beating on them right now.
Oh.
Not even going to get one of them. And
Didn't get the
Crystallize
crit.
grabs the tier 1 tower at bottom. He's getting really strong right now. He still has enough BKB charges too that he's scary. Dendy, of course, has only used one charge of his. General still up to 8
Radiant's top tower
as Moon.
Moon's going to try and hold this between March and Bouncing Laser.
Yeah,
His
but-
team will take that tier 2. Hoping to be able to force Na'Vi back in a defensive position rather than vice versa. But Dendy, there is inherent risk
General's
to
on the
trying
hunt.
this out. Mushi is going to be caught here somewhere in the trees. Dendy going to go ahead, pop out on him, tries to go for it. Misses out on the skewer backwards here. And the Brewmaster already popping his ultimate. Mushi has no way to defend himself though. A Decrepify is coming up soon. Hoping to be able to get out with a life drain on anything, but doesn't find a single target. Echo Slam immediately thrown out on General. If they can make this trade-off, that'll be worth it for Mineski. 1 for 1 so far, but Crystallize now coming in with the Chronos here. Goes straight for Jabs. Jabs, who'd already thrown his Echo Slam, can't be too disappointed.
Oh, he
as
gets
long
on
as
top of
Moon
Moon.
doesn't get caught, but Moon, he managed to reach through the trees to bash Tinker in the face.
No, Tinker absolutely could not afford to go down there. They're going to lose Ninja Boogie for this as well. 4 for 1 trade. Na'Vi only losing General, who's already done his work. Finally get a good Chronosphere and follow-up. Moon had to get out of there, but played a little bit too close to the edge there. He does have buyback available. Really didn't want to have to use it, though, as he had that Shiva's completed.
And apparently Rogers just rolling in the money so much so that he's going to go ahead and start picking
Okay.
up Dagons.
He's going to get Dagon. So
I mean, he's already got Pipe. He's already got Axe.
Yeah, they've got... oh, it is the Bloodthorn, by the way, for
Oh,
the
okay.
Weaver. It has to
Yeah.
be.
That's a
Somebody
good
needs to
choice.
grab it. They can't both go MKB. A little bit too greedy. If he can get on top of this Tinker, silence him, he kills him really quickly. No
Yeah.
defensive items on this Tinker. No Yules. What? And Ice. Only person that made it out alive. Everyone is respawning, though. So Tinker Luckily, doesn't have to use that buyback, but Na'Vi inching forward right now in this game. 7K lead for them, even though the top 2 net worths on the side of Mineski, and that's going to change soon as this Chen, 17K net worth, has more than his Carry Weaver and the Magnus.
How is Roger so big? The Hand of Midas, Black Dragons, I can see that, but I still can't get my head wrapped around the fact that this guy, especially since every single time like Brewmaster pops his ultimate, he's like, oh, Chen's a free kill.
Yeah.
He can't run away from me.
2, 6, and 13 though. On the flip side, Dendi 3, 3, and 3. Hasn't had too much impact in this game. Mainly just been an Empower bot and trying to land whatever RPs that he can find.
He only needs one big RP to win this game though at this point.
It's been General that's really been doing a lot of the legwork. 15, 5, and 2 right now, first team.
For sure. Him, Seneko, Roger, those 3. They seem to have been the rock for Na'Vi.
Right now, Weaver shoving out bottom lane. Is quite tanky in his own right. Still has a lot of BKB charges, and the Aegis did go on him. Cheese going to Crystallize instead.
Does seem like Na'Vi and Mineski do share a very common thread in that they both try and enable their offlaner quite a bit, who can sometimes go into that carry style. Na'Vi especially prioritizing General, and to great success as he now has an Orchid.
But in most cases, we normally see the Brewmaster being played more as an initiator. But I think the scenario just dictated that he has to play a little bit more offensive.
Yeah.
Run in, tank some spells.
I mean, as an initiator, he's pretty bad against all 3 of these cores, right?
Yes.
And initiating slow rather than a stun, an ultimate that's kind of slow to get out.
That's why he just kind of walks in.
Yeah.
He walks it in.
It's like, it's all the same.
He's like, hope for the best. And he has a BKB now. Like, this brew is very large. Doesn't say for buyback, though.
Closing in on that 25-2, which is a big upgrade. And I don't know, is it going to be damage?
I think he goes for the attack speed.
Yeah, I think so, too, with his build.
Does he really care about the Primal Split units? With the way that he's been playing? As
I could see them dying pretty quickly
okay,
if
the
Weaver
Dragons mid
chooses.
were just spinning for like a minute. Like, Roger just had them spin, kind of taunting.
Putting on a little show for Mineski
Yeah.
right outside their own base. They're trying to poke. I love this, but it is going to get caught. There goes that Aegis. Can they get the second one?
Okay, this would be
He
huge.
could
They've got
maybe-
Echo. He
no,
pops
no,
the
he's got
BKB
BKB.
preemptively.
All
But they're
right.
not going to get a tower for this, and this was an early Aegis and a BKB pop. Na'Vi probably going to go on the retreat now.
Wow, they really got nothing for that. Backdoor protection went up as well, so the Dragons didn't even do anything at the bottom tier 3.
Dendi, though, still in this area, trying to see if he can get any sort of RP off. Sentry's been laid out, though. Is he in? He's just in range right now.
Just barely in range.
And
Trying to
gets
go
it
for it,
still.
but unable to. Oh, there's the Echo Slam easily turning things around, but now the Chronosphere on top of the Echo Slam.
If they
All
can get
into
Ice,
one
Ice, Ice.
giant pit. Ice almost finished off. They will manage to get him at the end of that Chronosphere. Dendi barely surviving. Pops BKB just in case to make sure he doesn't go down because they've got a huge numbers advantage now. They have to outplay the Tinker, though. Roger's going to be slowed down. Laser almost finishing off. Here comes the
Rocket's
Rocket.
gonna
That's going
finish
to be
it.
able to get him. Pop to Shrine. Seneko trying to get out of there. Will manage to roll over the cliff.
Still, Na'Vi want to try to make use of this. There's no buyback available on either of those heroes.
The Tinker had to heal. General going to be stopped from hitting that tier 3 by Decrepify.
Yeah, and this 3-way assault. Maybe they grab somebody with that skewer. No, it's going to whiff as
Mid-skewer going for Dendi.
Dendi.
Lots of damage being flowed out here. Ninja Boogie just hoping to be able to stall Dendi, but he did manage to get the silence on Moon. So Mushi jumps forward, trying to finish off Dendi himself, but now he's in an awkward position. He does have Decrepify to be able to protect himself if necessary, but Moon, he got that time dilation. Can't really afford to jump out and catch those slow heroes with the cooldown remaining. So he has to go back to the fountain once again, but in the end, it's another successful hold for Mineski, despite what looked like a big advantage for Na'Vi.
yeah, right now defender's advantage holding true as Na'Vi, they were trying to split up the map, like 2 people go top, 3 people go mid with the Black Dragons, but the Tinker just a little bit too annoying with that laser. Na'Vi a little bit too low to continue that assault. And Dendi, he's got to be careful here. He's going to pop out. This might just mean his death. That's a jump too.
Okay, maybe Crystallize?
Oh, that is such a
No.
large pickup. That's another 900 net worth on top of the 724 that he lost. Crystallized with that huge leap forward. Can't find anything. Still going to look in the trees, but unable to
Dude, look at these dragons. They're so good. He pushed right in front of the tier 3 and doesn't lose a single one of them.
General actually gonna run into him.
Oh no.
I think the Tinker might just go
He's
down
gonna be
for this.
silenced up by the Echo Slams here. Jabs, he managed to control up General. Moon's gonna be able to get off.
Oh,
Oh,
you
spell
should've
with the
canceled that
BKB's
TP.
pop. He's gonna be able to chase down Moon.
Oh,
Not
no.
able to make the escape. He got the Shivas off last second, but now Jabs, he's gonna have to pop his own Shadow Blade. General, he's a little bit too high HP for Jabs to be able to one-on-one him here. Maybe he can still catch something for his team, but he already threw out the Ward Sentry. They're going to be able to see Jabs before he gets to the initiation, try to roll out. Sineko's not able to do so. Jabs is going to be kept alive by the drain. Mushi actually almost draining himself to near death there just to be able to keep Jabs alive. And General not feeling comfortable trying to fight Mineski here at such low HP.
And they grab the gem back, but still, Moon, he could have just left. If you leave the Earthshaker right there, everything's okay.
Yep.
If you abandon him, the Earthshaker probably lives too. He has a Shadow Blade, and they still have the gem. It was no problem for them. But his decision to stay, gonna cost him his life again, and he absolutely cannot afford those mistakes.
It was such a high-risk play to go for it and would have been rewarded. Handful of Mushi here for Crystallize. He's going to be able to... Oh, no, never mind.
There's
He's
the
got a
Force
Ghost Step to
Staff.
be able to protect himself, but there goes the Diffuser Blade. Now they have to turn on to Ice. Ice running low on mana. It's not going to be able to get off his ultimate. Uh-oh, he's in trouble. General might be able to fight him here. Stalled up by the Enchanted. Oh, jeez, what a bash on that Jakiro. Ice. No, that's not the Fisher at all.
And now
Blocked
4
out.
heroes. There's the buyback from Pugna. And
Can they do it again?
Dude,
Can they
Mineski.
hold 3 versus 4?
13 seconds left on their Tinker. He absolutely does not want to have to force a buyback here.
So there goes the Glyph.
They're going for all 3 sides though at once right now. Na'Vi looks like they're going to focus their attention on mid. Dendi just hitting this top tower. It's going to go down right about now, and they really want 2 sets of racks here as Moon going to try to salvage what he can out of this.
They do manage to see Dendi. They're going to be able to jump on top of him. The big initiator's gone because there's no Chronosphere.
They need
so
to get
maybe
racks,
they
though.
can hold this to only one of them. Crystallize tried to go for the jump onto Moon. He managed to blink himself 1 step ahead of Crystallize.
Yeah, and they do manage to grab this full set and that tier 3 tower up at top. Probably less than what they wanted to get out of that though, considering how many heroes on the side of Mineski were dead. But they're going to be happy with that. Grab these shrines instead. That Orchid played a big role. As we saw, he was able to just lock up this Tinker for such a long time. And they can ill afford to lose Tinker this many times.
Is under attack.
They invested so much on him.
Man, Na'Vi they were really looking down the barrel at a endgame scenario.
Yeah.
If Dendi manages to catch Moon instead of the other way around,
Yes.
force out that buyback, and you're just 1 kill away from ending this game.
But instead, things get reset. But ball is completely in Na'Vi's court right now. 21K, their top net worth in this game.
I was just laughing about that. My man Roger. Goddamn.
This
These
is-
Black Dragons, they are money makers.
Yeah, this is, it's, say what you want, it's still pretty absurd. Like, I understand that he's getting the majority of this farm due to the Black Dragons, but he's still having an unbelievable amount of impact in this game right now.
Yeah.
With a Dagon 5, is it a Dagon 5? Correct me if I'm wrong, yeah, it is a Dagon 5. He's almost got a Hex 2, just less than 1,000 gold away from that now.
All right. Remember what I said on the panel? Maybe get away from the Chen. I changed my mind.
Don't, dude,
Stick with Chen all the way.
I told you. Roger, he's just gonna farm, hit stuff, very cool.
He's rapidly turning into an AUI.
Yeah. Although he does get Eclipse now in net worth, but he had it for a bit, and that's all that matters. It's the era of these fours, man. Like,
Radiant are scared.
Tinker. And can he get something else to protect himself better?
I don't know. It doesn't seem like... I think he's just going to go for the play element right now as Moon playing very aggressively, jumping forward, trying to clear this creep wave as best he can. He understands how many times more can you get caught out here, as every single time leads to a Rax. And buyback is all that matters right now for this Tinker anyways. He's going to shove in mid. They probably need
Smoke
another lockdown. They need a Hex, I think.
Mineski.
I think Moon needs to grab a Hex.
That'd
Yeah.
be a pretty good way to be able to deal with Faceless Void, especially. He'll have a little bit of problem with. Well, no, I guess General doesn't have Lincolns, right? Because he went BKB. So this instant disable would be really value.
Yeah, they're all gathered around this bottom area as Moon.
Trying to bait out Tinker a little bit.
Yeah, they want somebody to come for this. They did grab the 140 attack speed talent, by the way, on the Brewmaster. This is not your average brew.
All right, we'll see how much of a carry he actually becomes. He's looking at Manta next.
Okay, he's pretty much just Alchemist.
All right. Sure.
He's Alk. Or like Naga. It's like a weird Naga. And they're gonna show now. The gig is up.
There's a push to top lane. They have to go back and defend. And I mean, there's no trap being set up right now, but I would not feel comfortable as Moon solo defending that push, just in case, you know, who knows what Navi's up to.
Yeah. But what Navi's up to is this Roshan. I think this is like the 4th or 5th of the game. Navi grabbing the majority of them here as this Aegis can be huge. Who's going to grab it? It's going to be General, who's got that Bloodthorn fully completed. Dendi. What are you going for next? Sad.
It's going Orchid into Bloodthorn as well, it looks like.
That's pick-off potential.
All right, well, Tinker does have the Octarine core.
Okay, so he went
So-
Octarine.
Spam, spam, spam. Decently tanky, but still going to be shredded by any of these Bloodthorns that get put on him. So he's just got to stay ahead of it.
Yeah.
And that's going to be tough to do, especially when Na'Vi have so many gap closers. And they've got an Aegis to be able to fearlessly charge in. It's going to take some sick plays here from Mineski. Dendi trying to set up on that mid.
Any sort of RP works for your team right now, because they are so far ahead.
Seneko, he's going to get popped here. Hoping to be able to get a ward down on the high ground. You could already see the sentries laid in place, though. Mineski know how important vision is for Na'Vi to be able to break this high ground.
Yeah, Na'Vi, they really want this. The Weaver pushing in mid at the same time, getting control of this jungle area, making it very difficult for Mineski to leave their base. Trying to tighten up the noose. They do have this Aegis. I think they want to utilize it. They've got a Hex on Roger as well.
And why not?
Sure.
Blink Dagger coming up soon, so he can go ahead, Blink Hex, Dagon.
He's his own Tinker.
Wow. Dude, that is actually so much damage with Penitence, too.
If you showed me these items minus like the regular boots and a pipe, I would have thought this was a Tinker.
Yeah.
I guess the Midas. Never mind, I lied. It's still absurd.
What, you don't refresh your Midas?
I wish, man.
All right, another ward being attempted to throw down.
There's the kick. They're trying to save that ward.
I mean, they can't expect these. Oh, there's the initiation down at bottom lane. Managed to get the RP onto
two-man
two,
RP.
but not grabbing Moon. So if they can actually just get these 2 kills, Mushi is immediately going to be losing his Ghost Scepter status every single time the Diffusal Blade comes out. Jabs may still go for the control here onto General. Does have the Echo Slam. He can throw it down, but he actually chooses not to. Backing away from that one.
Tinker
General
silence
actually turns and now goes against Moon. They're getting all these silences off. Here comes the Void. He does have the Chronosphere. Not able to go for Moon. Set goes through some of the sidelines heroes. Let the rest of Na'Vi deal with Moon, it looks like.
There's the
Jabs
kick.
trying to head him. Managed to get the defensive force staff. Moon trying to head back, but won't be able to make it out. Snako managed to get the last bit of damage with the help of Dendi. They're just running over all of Mineski right now underneath their tier 4s. They have to get a full setup here for the Tinker to be able to win this one, but he can't get outside of his own fountain. He keeps on getting slowed down. The Skewer misses, diving all the way into the base, all the way into the fountain, trying to finish off the second life of Moon. General sitting on top of him right now with the invis, but won't be able to. He just locks him inside. He's like, you're not going anywhere.
Yeah.
I'm going to stand right here. You're not going to defend anything. My allies are going to go ahead and get Mega Creeps for us.
This is definitely going to be Megas right now. Everyone healthy enough to take this. Crystallize. Didn't really have to do too much in that fight. Chrono, anybody, it works. The 2-man RP from Dendi finally connects. And this might just be the game as Roger buys back. He smells blood. Gonna run to the rest of his team who want to end this game. Right now it's 2v5. Ice 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 doesn't have that split available. Not even that tanky anymore. Those Bloodthorns and MKBs absolutely rip him to shreds. No BKB available on him.
Needs some
trying to hold.
major bash luck here for Ice. If he wants to be able to get any of these kills. Shivas and the bouncing laser will slow down General's damage quite a bit, but here comes Dragons. Now the jump forward, time dilation. Crystallize going for Moon with the BKB popped, hoping that
Yes,
with
no
the
buyback.
Orchid as well, they're going to be able to get that kill.
Oh,
What a
yes,
great
Stewart.
skewer.
Dendi has missed so many of them, but finally gets the big one to finish off this game. Tinker goes down for 2 minutes, and they'll clean up the scraps of Mineski as well and bring this game and this series to a tie. Brewmaster just trying to do the last bit he can with his Brewlings, but there's not much they can do. You see Mushi just show up, immediately dies from the mass Bloodthorns. Na'Vi will take all 5 from Mineski. What
a late game scenario we had here. Going into it deep, 55 minutes. Mineski battle it out with Na'Vi. A Tinker on one side, but big time catch for Na'Vi. And it seems like Na'Vi's lineup, I mean, they played through the laning phase and did all right there. And they got to that late game, and they just seemed like the draft was just better for them all around.
Yeah, it's like what we said. Navi's lineup, yeah, there's some holes in it, but the big thing is that we mentioned early on, this Earthshaker is the only form of control for Mineski. And that's why, even though I was more confident in Mineski because they are a very good team and Jabs is a very good player, you're still putting a lot on one player. And at some point, people are going to grab BKBs, and you're going to have to lock down both this Weaver and this Faceless Void, and you're just not going to have enough control, which is why I kind of wanted to see Moon, after that Shiva's Guard, go for this Hex instead of this Octarine Core.
Yeah.
Then maybe they have enough to be able to jump.
Do you agree with the Brewmaster, just real quickly, in the choice of his items and not going for the Blink? We kind of touched on it, but
I'm not sure. I don't know what else he builds differently there. I think maybe he does have to go for this carry build. Who knows?
All right, well, there's a lot of things to dissect for this game. 2, we're going to take a quick break, go to the panel to solve more.
Get the alpha, be the alpha.
we're all tied up at 1-1 in our second series. It goes the distance yet again. As long as the Dota's good, it's all good for us, that's for sure. We're back with our panel members to break things down. Our panel members, by the way, who have some sort of panel curse going on right now.
I'm just trying to copy Winter. I have the same color shirt, took off my jacket just like him,
Yeah.
and I'm wrong just like him.
I'm not sure that's the goal, Ben.
Oh, but what?
I think that last part needs to change.
Yeah, I'm not sure why would you copy to be wrong, you know? Ben?
We'll take a
I'm
look
trying
through.
to make you look better, dude. You're not the only one.
We'll
I
take
don't want
a-
to single you out.
We'll take a look through some of the highlights in just a moment. But there we go. How do you assess this, Winter, in terms of Na'Vi have won the game? Sure, but
More like Mineski through the game.
yeah, I
in some
didn't
way.
I didn't want to be mean, but it did feel like that, didn't it?
But Na'Vi did play well in the later parts of the game with their Chronos and Magnus RPs.
Yeah.
They did miss one or two of it.
To win
But-
the game, though.
Yeah, but they did
Yeah.
enough to win the game.
Yeah.
But I want to highlight like a severe problem here with what happened in the game for Mineski. They were winning their lanes. The Tinker killed the courier at 2 minutes. He got the first blood. You kind of expect, oh, this game is going to be really, really good for Mineski, right?
Yep.
And then they were winning bottom lane as well. Panda was getting like the good 1v1 matchup against the Void. Then he went for a first item Midas before Dagger, and he didn't even buy Dagger at all in the whole game.
I kind of sat there and felt like you would probably be upset about it.
Like what Will mentioned in multiple of his casts, like you don't play Dota with only one initiating hero. You want to have multiple ways of starting the fight. Because the peak of their lineup was like when they had these bots on Tinker and Dagger. Like his Dagger wasn't quick, but his Dagger could be quick if the Panda went first item Blink. Because they won mid lane, they won bottom lane, they broke the bottom tower really, really quickly. He had like, I think he had like 2k gold. He bought a Midas recipe. I was like, huh? Don't you want to just snowball? You get a Dagger, you fight. He didn't have any really good in it, like good ultimates in the early game because he didn't have a Dagger. He always had to, you know, if you watch him play, he was like hiding in the trees, running in, trying to run in and get his ulti off, and they weren't really effective in the team fights. The Pugna and the Tinker needs to rely on the Panda to set it up for him, but he didn't have a Dagger, so I think he wasn't planning to set up the team fights.
Were there a number of questionable builds?
Well, why?
in this
What
game?
made you think that he needed? What in his mindset made him think that he needed to actually do the damage? I don't
Yeah,
know.
no, later part in the game I understand because they were having trouble with damage, but the problem was what made it happen. Why did the game become like this? It was because of after the bottom tower went down, he needed to farm one more creep wave, get his blink, swap with his team / just walk mid, start a team fight because right after that he bought the Midas recipe. There was a fight that happened in right after that. They lost that fight and they couldn't take the tower. Because he didn't, I think because if he had a Dagger, they would have a very, very good shot at winning the fight. I'm not saying he's going to win the team fight with the Dagger,
Sure.
but he's definitely going to have a better shot at winning the fight.
You should go in the next room and be their coach and just yell at him, dude.
Maybe
He probably knows.
So what-
they're going to talk about it and they're going to, you know, go away. You know, because that point of the time in the game, it was very crucial. It was like a power spike with their lineup. Tinker
Right.
has bots. Pugna is really, really strong at that point of the game. You do not want to miss out on your power spike because when you look at Navi's lineup, you know they're going to be really, really strong late game. Chronosphere, Magnus RP, and power. You don't want to fight them late game. You really don't want to go late game against that. They needed to snowball harder.
Okay. We'll take a look at the scoreboard and the statistics to go along with it. You'll see that Roger and Crystallize will be at the top of this particular scoreboard.
Chen was like top net worth, right?
Chen.
Yeah, I
was-
did
that's
want to
what
bring
most
this
fans
up.
said.
This I don't know. This is not right. I mean, it's not supposed to happen like this.
General also played really well.
Yeah, he
was-
did.
He
Yeah.
was
especially towards the
so
end. That
often
Weaver
early.
was all over
Yeah,
the
I
map.
think General was definitely the MVP for Navi. He
Yeah.
made so much space and he caught Weaver of all heroes that caught Tinker multiple times. You don't expect it. You kind of expect, oh, it's going to be the Void catching him out, Earth Spirit, or the Magnus catching a Tinker. No, Weaver was actually the one catching
Yep.
a Tinker.
Well,
That's a
there
sign
it
of an
is.
offlane player, though.
There's the MVP
Right.
general of this particular game. That Weaver towards the end as well was just
He
brutal.
was-
Everything. He's
he
getting
owned
every
them.
kill as well. Crazy good game from General. Also, one of the things I want to pick up on was Dendy.
Didn't
How
didn't
do
really-
you rate his game and also his build as well?
He didn't really have a very good. His build was alright.
Was
But-
it?
Okay.
Can be better.
Yeah.
People hate on the Echo, but it's
Yeah, but
Is
he-
is the problem with that he's gonna?
I think the Echo is a bit similar to the Magnus, sorry, not the Magnus, the Panda going Midas first and no dagger is that
Yeah.
he's not trying to start the fight for his team, but he's trying to do damage where actually the damage is coming from the other heroes, the Weaver. Even the Chen does a decent amount of damage with the Earth Spirit. I think people wanted him to get what quick dagger so that they can win more team fights.
Is the problem sometimes in these games where you go a build like that, you win the game, and you think, oh, that worked.
Yeah, but it's actually not that great.
Right, and that's the point, isn't it?
But it was also okay because of the fact that the Panda went for a greedy build, so it actually reduces or it limits the aggression that Mineski can put during that point of the game, which was so crucial because they're hitting their power timings. You don't want to hit your power timing. Oh guys, we just hit our power timing. Let's farm. Get a Midas. Then everything gets screwed up after that. Everyone wanted to fight at that point.
Yeah.
Tinker was like, "Great, I'm ready. I have bots." Pengna was like, "I got my levels. I want to fight." But Panda's like, "Guys, I'm actually kind of fed from the laning phase. I think I'm going to go get a Midas first, if you guys don't mind."
That's one of those times you click on your teammate, you're like, what?
Then no, that's not even the worst thing. You listen to him say going for Midas. Oh, you're like, okay, Midas. Maybe his dagger will come soon enough, And then you click on him again. He's queuing Radiance. So where's our dagger? Guess not. And after the Radiance, I'm like, maybe he's still gonna go dagger. Maybe, just maybe, And then he gets AC. I'm like, what? No, where's the dagger? Then after the AC, he goes, like, he just wants to do damage. BKB. He wants to fight. But in the fights, if you notice, he wasn't even actually clicking on anyone because he got chrono, he got RP, he just got stun, and dead. Mushi was like playing really, really well in a few fights, keeping him alive with the decrep. But that's not how you want that draft to be played. You want the Pandas to start the fight, Pogna killing people with the decrep and ulti, not saving your teammates.
Okay, we're going to move on to our third and final draft, Ben. 1-1. We've often said that Dota's very similar to this. It happens a lot, doesn't it, where we get one and then the other team figure it out or they figure something out. Na'Vi didn't change drastically in that draft, did they?
That's what we thought. We thought they were actually going to, well, Winter said he thinks they're going to pick the same heroes and
Fix
play
something a little bit.
Well, that kind of maybe faked Mineski out a little bit too. They're like, oh, we have the Shaker, we're ready for this, and then they actually just end up farming a lot with Empower. They farm with the Ancients, and then this Chen gets massive. So that was kind of a nice switcheroo, and at the same time, Mineski felt like they were comfortable taking a late game.
Yeah, but still, if you look at that game on Navi's perspective, early game did not go well. That was a problem there. They lost, the middle was lost, bottom was like, even the Panda out-farmed the Void because he had a very good matchup, and top lane was going kind of well for that's the only lane that gone well for them. So they still lost 2 out of 3 lanes.
But that's okay.
That's
like,
not okay.
Their high ground is ridiculous. Like, how do they actually? Yeah, Tinker is
he got
really
trash
good
in the lane. You don't want it to happen.
You get trash in the lane, but just because you get trash in the lane doesn't mean you're going to lose the game, right? They had tons of Ancient Stacks ready to be available to farm. They weren't too concerned about the Panda for aforementioned reasons, but I think like if they actually came to high ground, they probably still would have been okay because of their lineup. Like if you lose the early game and you have like Huskar like yesterday, yeah, you're going to lose. But if you lose early game and you have all these Ancient Stacks to farm back on, you have like these ridiculously good late game heroes, and you have ridiculously good farming tools like Empower, I think you're okay. It's not the end of the world. I'm like, someone's gonna lose out of 3 lanes generally.
Yeah, but still, you don't want to start on the back foot, especially when you have Chen. You want to at least win 2 out of your 3 lanes. Otherwise, why are you drafting that kind of early game hero? You want to secure the early game.
Was he early game? Did you see his items?
Looked pretty late to me in that game. How about you two? We're going to get into our third and final draft of this second series. Of course, the winner will go through to play Evil Geniuses. That one will be coming up as our next match, and our final match of this second day. The third day, if you're wondering, will be full of elimination matches. All 4 elimination best of 3s will take place tomorrow. Semis and final on